From our studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee. Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody. As we approach the new year of 2021, I have Linnea Lambert here with us today from, of course, Treasure Village, and I could start naming off all the other creative things you're involved in, Linnea, but we're talking about, last year was a struggle for everybody, and we came out one time and did a show.
Yes, you came and interviewed our Jungle Book cast.
Yes, and it was so fun to see them because they enjoy it so much. But as far as, being able to get the crowds that you're used to and so forth, and it's so sad to see. But now there are opportunities. If you didn't get to go to Treasure Village last summer,
yes,
all is not lost.
No.
So tell us about the vehicles that you've got that people can see and the shows that they can observe from last summer.
Absolutely. Well, when things started to impact last April, we thought, we need to think a little differently.
Yeah.
And we were extremely fortunate. We had already completed auditions in February, and we had all local people, and all actually from Okoboji High School. It has a plethora of talented kids right now.
They do indeed.
Who can sing and act. And so we took our local people and we quarantined together, and we thought, let's relaunch our Little Mermaid from the previous summer.
Right.
Because the Little Mermaid show, this will sound horribly unbiased, but it's one of my favorites because the script, I feel, is one of my strongest scripts that I've written. Mm-hmm. And the songs are so much fun in there. So we had everybody except for one, and we had another actress who could easily do that part.
Right. And
so we ran ahead and did a few rehearsals, and honestly, once they were back on stage with the same set and in their costume, they were like, it all came back.
Just fell together naturally.
It felt very natural. They knew exactly remembered their blocking and everything. So we filmed Little Mermaid, and we thought, let's have something that could go out to the public.
Right.
Because at that point, theaters weren't going to be allowed to open at all.
Right.
So this was kind of a solution, do something a little differently with a really fun show with multiple camera angles. Yeah. So we had some fun with that and edited it all together. About mid-June, we found out we would be able to open the theater. So we went ahead and we had started rehearsals, kind of just in case.
Yeah. Like everybody else, it's like,
right?
What's our backup here? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we had Jungle Book that was already kind of underway, and we went ahead and got that ready. And so we opened the theater in early July. Yep. We normally seat about 330. We reduced that down to about 160 or so seats. Yep. And everything was spaced so that you could be in your family group and not be sitting by anybody else.
Right.
And that worked really well. We had several doctor friends and people from the medical community, so you guys did a fantastic job in spacing it and organizing it.
That's nice to hear, isn't it? Because you put so much effort into keeping everybody, including cast and crew, safe.
And our cast did a wonderful at kind of staying within a bubble that year. And so everyone stayed healthy, everyone stayed safe. And so we filmed Jungle Book then a couple weeks into our season when they'd had a chance to kind of performing it. And the more you perform something, the more developed those characters continue to grow.
Sure, you find things you can do with your character and things become natural. And yes,
or you hear the audience laugh at something that you didn't expect them to laugh to, so then you kind of milk that a little
I was going to say, didn't you milk that, baby?
So you really push that? Yeah. So what was the show at the beginning and our rehearsals and what finalized is not quite the same. Yeah. We're very fortunate that I write the script, so we're allowed to have fluidity. Right. We're allowed to adapt and change it as the actors kind of have ideas. So we did that, and then we started our Sleeping Beauty, which is an original musical. And ironically, my son, who is just 17, taking after mom and dad in the music and the arts, and he wrote all the music for the show. So
it just amazes me how prolific that young man is. Between that and the school for high school and everything.
Yeah, he did the high school musical this fall and wrote that too. So he's just having fun with all of that, and he did a wonderful job with the music and had a funny part in there. And it was such a fun show. Jungle Book is animals And so there's learning how to kind of handle your body differently and how animals would react and sound and things like that. And then Sleeping Beauty is more normal characters, but in medieval times.
Right. Nice mix to have.
So,
Yeah.
kind of a big change of pace that way too. And then just having the fun songs. And these kids all know each other because they go to school together.
Yeah.
So their chemistry is just incredible in how they bounce off of each other. So we filmed Sleeping Beauty too.
Yeah, it's like a really good ensemble, whether it's a sitcom or whatever. You can just tell how they gel, and that
if they get along outside of the TV, it shows on the screen.
Yeah, and it's amazing how that can be so cohesive, and for your kids going to school together and having this. They also have the passion together and a great deal of talent together.
Yeah.
So that's just a win-win-win-win-win all the way around.
And we had 2 sets of siblings in there because Carter and then my youngest daughter, Madison, now was old enough to finally audition. And just like our kids have to earn their parts. We have not. They don't get guaranteed to get cast. Because it needs to be the best show.
Right.
So it has to be what's best for the show. And
that's good lessons for them too. That
yes.
There's no favors.
No favors.
We've got to work for to get that lead. Yeah.
So they were in it, and then we also had Liam and Aubrey Knutson. And their mom actually worked for us back when she was in high school.
Oh my God.
So that was another second generation of actors.
Yeah.
And then we had Laura Clark back for her 5th summer. And she's our creative director's daughter, off in college. So she was our college leader of them all. And then our newest member this year then was Lexi Duffy.
Right.
And she's also their Okoboji. And she and Liam and Carter are all in a group improv that went to Allstate last year. So they're just used to doing everything together anyway.
Yeah. It'd be fun to just be a fly on the wall when they're conversing with each other and the creative juices start popping out. And what if and that's one of my favorite is, what if we did that and took it to this level? Fun.
Oh yeah, it is fun listening to them brainstorm.
Yeah.
So we had really fun people, and we have done 3 fun shows, all different. The Little Mermaid, Jungle Book, Sleeping Beauty.
Right.
2 of those are musicals. Jungle Book, when we filmed it then, we also took into account that we would have had audience participation if it had been a normal year.
Right.
So in our video editing, we put in place like make your animal sounds now or audience cheer. So there's a little bit of kind of television interaction,
yes.
particularly in that show where we ask the people to kind of join us at home.
Yeah, and that's fun.
Yes,
absolutely. So how do we access this? What do we have to do?
So treasurevillage.org is the place to go because on our site, one of our main tabs says shows at home. And so you just click on that and that will take you to a couple of options. And one of those is you can do a one-time streaming link and that's $20.
Okay.
And then you can purchase it and watch it later in the day. So it doesn't have to be done like that moment.
Right, so you got like a 24-hour window there. Right.
You just have to have that code. And that's with a great company called anywhereseats.com.
Okay.
And all that's linked right on our website. If you want to be able to watch it more than once, like if you know you've already seen that show and you loved watching it, then we have, for $30, a private YouTube link that will be sent to you.
Okay.
So you can pay for it, and then I send you a link that only you can open, but you can watch it then as much as you want.
As much as you like, and that's nice. It's almost like when you go on Amazon and you want to, you can rent the movie.
Yes.
Or you can purchase the movie and then watch it as much as you wish.
It is very much like that.
Yeah.
So we're excited by that possibility, and it's summer and it's not feeling like summer out there right now. It's very cold.
I noticed that.
We were talking about our glasses fogging up. So it's nice to kind of reminisce and think about summer and being in a show, and like many other industries, the theater industry is hurting right now. And we are fortunate because I write our scripts, we don't have huge royalty fees.
Right.
Which is unlike a lot of other theaters, that if you have reduced capacity, that really limits how much you can actually earn.
Right. Well,
and we pay our actors. All of our actors are paid, so it's not community theater like that.
Right.
It's hired, contracted actors for the summer.
Yeah.
And so we want to pay them.
Yeah. And I'm sure they enjoy that as well.
They enjoy getting paid.
But it hurts in a couple ways, Linnea. First of all, the financial burden it puts on for not being able, but also for the artist, the performer, the writer, the composer, to not be able to be prolific in putting those things out there and putting out that performance. That's hurtful as well.
Yes. If someone is a performer who likes to be out in front, whether that's acting or singing or something like that, this has been a tough time.
Yeah.
Because there aren't those opportunities as much.
Yeah.
And it is harder to convey it through a camera.
Yeah. Yep.
And find those options. So
there's nothing like a live audience.
No.
And I spend my life in front of a camera. But that feeling of having 5, 10, 100, 1,000 people out there is an energy that comes through you. Yeah.
No, when I get a chance to still go up and perform or things like that, or even when I just do our intermission times and I'm kind of talking to the audience members, it's just, for me, it just puts me alive.
Yeah.
And I get so excited by that, and it's such adrenaline. And so for these actors, it's that same way.
Yeah.
So they loved, even if there maybe was only 30 people in the audience that morning, they gave 100% to those 30 people.
Absolutely. Probably 110% to those 30
Yes.
people. So we have that to look forward to. You can get on the website or give the information again.
TreasureVillage.org.
Okay.
Yes, and if you just look up Treasure Village, we should be the main thing that comes up. So that's on there. There's also some of our YouTube stuff that we did with our cast when we were all quarantined together. So we did some really funny segments, some character karaoke's.
Oh.
I had one character karaoke where I had 6 princesses, because of course we have all these costumes.
Yeah.
And they loaded up in my minivan and we drive. We didn't go anywhere. But we would sing songs, and a lot of those had to do with royalty and princess things. And we had Geppetto and Pinocchio do one together. The Little Mermaids did one together. I had one of our former Cinderellas actually came back and was getting married in 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
And her husband to be sings, so they did a darling Cinderella and Prince Charming together.
Be fun to capture all that,
right?
you know, yeah.
So all of that fun stuff is on there. There's some theater games people can play.
Cool.
So there's lots of other things, and all of that content on the YouTube is free.
Yeah, and looking ahead to 2021, are you kind of going with plan A, B, C, and D of
It'll be interesting to see what happens. The golf should be able to open again.
Right.
That really was able to handle changes last year very well.
Right.
The flea market will continue on. So we'll plan to do all 3 of those at this point.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens with the
That's
theater.
all we can do.
We don't know, because we need to make sure we can earn enough to pay for the actors, and like many other seasonal businesses, even here in our area, it was a loss for a lot of us.
Absolutely, whether it was retail or performing, you know, lodging. You run on down the line for the Iowa Great Lakes. A lot of it was hurt last year, and so I think we're going to appreciate it if we can get things. We can get 70% of the population inoculated and start being around each other again. I bet you we appreciate handshakes and hugs a lot more than we ever did before.
I think so. I think that was one of the hard things for kids who were used to coming to us, that we couldn't hug them after the show.
Yep.
We were able to do a staging where the kids could come still get pictures.
Yeah. We
used depth perception and had the kids be on steps, and we were just behind, but from a lower angle, it looks like you're a lot closer.
Right.
we worked our little magic that way. So people still got to take pictures and still talk with the cast, but we couldn't quite do those hugs.
Yeah, well, you better get your hugging arms ready, because at some point we're going to be back to that.
We hope that. So.
Well, Linnea, I thank you for coming in and telling me about fun stuff always going on at Treasure Village, even this time of the year, and after all we've been through. It's a pleasure to see your creativity and all your passion, and for the kids, and
Yes,
Gare
thank
and
you so
everybody.
much for having me here so we could talk about these things that are even happening in the off season.
Yeah, that's the fun part, isn't it? That's the
Yes.
magic of our little area.
Yes.
All right, Linnea, thanks for coming in. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
All right. Hey, we want to thank Linnea Lambert for being here with us from Treasure Village on Highway 86 here in the Iowa Great Lakes. We want to thank you for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast. Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you by the Scott Troutman State Farm Agency in Spirit Lake, Pure Fishing in Spirit Lake, Last Touch Painting and Cleaning providing interior, exterior, house painting and professional cleaning services in Spirit Lake, Quest Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz. Ducky's Marine and Motorsports Repair in Spirit Lake. Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Attorney Bethany Brands at Brands Law Office in Spirit Lake. Ruthven Locker at the Lake, where carnivores are welcome on Hill Avenue in Spirit Lake. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji. By Michael Thorson with Farm Bureau Insurance in Spirit Lake.